Good morning, students. Welcome to the online class. This may be our last online class for social. Next time we shall meet in the classroom directly. From 20th onwards, we have a direct class in our school only. So all students have to come to school, and these months are very important for us. So in this class, we shall study about seasonal winds and local winds, different types of winds like that. Seasonal winds. What are seasonal winds? The winds that blow only in a particular season are called seasonal winds. Season, different seasons are there. Summer season, winter season, rainy season, like that. Seasons are there. In a particular season, winds blow in a particular direction. Such winds are called seasonal winds. Monsoons are the famous seasonal winds, monsoons. What is monsoon? Monsoon is wind. This name is derived from an Arabic word, Monsoon. And this wind blows in a summer season only. Usually, these kinds of winds are caused by the differences in the temperature of the land and sea. The cooling and heating and cooling of the land and sea, the differences between land and sea in heating up and cooling causes these kinds of winds. Already we studied about the trade winds. Where are the trade winds blowing? Trade winds are blowing in the tropical region. Tropical region is distributed in two hemispheres. In the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere around the equator. In the northern hemisphere, the trade winds are called northeast trade winds. In southern hemisphere, the trade winds are called southeast trade winds. In the last class, we studied about it. These southeast trade winds, which are in the southern hemisphere, crosses the equator. Crosses the equator means they come on to the northern hemisphere. When it is very hot summer in the northern hemisphere. At that time, in the northern hemisphere, the pressure conditions are very low. There is low pressure in the northern hemisphere because of a hot summer. So the southeast trade winds which crosses the equator deflected by the Coriolis effect. These winds are deflected by the Coriolis effect. Coriolis effect we studied yesterday. What is Coriolis effect? When the earth rotates on its axis with that speed, it affects the air also, atmosphere also. The atmosphere, the air is pulled away by the force made by the rotation of the earth. As a result, the wind cannot move directly and it moves towards east. Because the earth rotates from west to east. So the southeast trade winds which crosses the equator now deflects towards east, and it comes on to the northern hemisphere. There it is called southwest monsoon winds in Indian Peninsula and the neighboring countries. They are called southwest monsoon because these winds come on to the mainland of India from the southwest. Southwest means, uh, at the bottom part of India, where Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, etc. are situated, these areas are called southwest regions. So the wind enters to India through this region, and these winds cause heavy rainfall in these states along the western Ghats region. So these winds are called southwest monsoon. These monsoons brings rainfall to India because when these winds crosses the ocean, these winds collect rain clouds, means moisture from the ocean atmosphere. There is always evaporation taking place in the sea, in the ocean. Because of this evaporation, the air contains a high amount of moisture in the sea. So these winds carry this moisture to the land and enters the mainland of India from south to west. Then what happens? In the western area, we have the higher western Ghats. The western Ghats stop these winds. Then the winds try to rise up and gets cooled, and it fall down there as rainfall. And when it is winter season in the northern hemisphere, and it will be summer in the southern hemisphere, then what happens? The wind reverses. The wind reverse means the northeast trade winds. The northeast trade winds now crosses the equator to southern hemisphere. So the wind from northeast blows towards south, crossing the equator. Then it is called then this wind is called northeast monsoon. Northeast monsoon. Like that, these monsoons blow. The southwest monsoon in India from June to September. In this month only, these winds are northeast monsoon from September to December. In this month, reversal of these winds. And these winds blow in these months only, that's why they are called seasonal winds. Compared to planetary winds, what are the specialty of planetary winds? Planetary winds blow throughout the year, all around the world. Yes. Now, local winds. What about local winds? Local winds are the winds that take place in a particular area only, for a short area, small area. These winds happen because of the difference in the heating and cooling of the adjacent areas. In the last class we studied the air moves from a high pressure area to low pressure area. In any place, if the temperature is very high, what will be there? Pressure will be less. Then in the cool region nearby, what will be there? Pressure will be high. So automatically from that area, the air moves to this low pressure area. These kinds of winds are called local winds. Local winds are of two types. One is called hot winds. The other is called cold winds. So hot winds are there, cold winds are there. Let us get acquainted with some of the local winds here, which are blown in different parts of the world. Remember, these winds are limited to particular area only. These winds do not cross the boundaries, so we cannot see these types of winds everywhere. Remember that. And also, local winds are two types. One is hot winds, the other is cold winds. Wherever the hot winds blow, automatically what will happen in that area? The temperature will increase, isn't it? Heat will increase in those areas. If the cold winds blow in an area, what what will happen there? In those areas, temperature will decrease. And that means this area will become cool, isn't it? Okay. Now, these winds respond to local pressure gradients. Local pressure gradients. Pressure gradients means pressure changes. These winds respond to, that means these winds are caused by the local variations in the pressure, etc. Some of the hot winds, one hot wind is called Chinook. Chinook is a hot wind. It is present in North America. North America means USA, Canada region. In these regions only, these winds blow. In the Rocky, they move down. These winds move down the Rocky mountains in the USA, Canada. The interesting is that look at the picture here in the textbook. A picture is given here. One side you can see the air is cool and 10 degrees C only. One side 10 degrees C. And it means that that area is cool. From there the moisture-laden air rises up. And when this air rises up, what happened? At a height, the moisture is lost. Then the clouds that going up, what happened? Heat increases there. And 12 degrees C at the top of the mountain. And the other side, when this wind descends, when the wind goes down the other side, it is a hot wind, increasing the heat of that region. So if the heat increases, what will not be there? Snow and ice, snow and frost will not be there. And because of this quality, the word Chinook means snow eater. Snow eater. That means when these local winds blow, snow will disappear. There will not be snow anymore. So these winds are also called snow eater. Actually, the word Chinook is the name for a tribal people of North America. In North America, there lived a tribal people in the name of Chinook. And in their area only these winds are blowing. That's why these winds got this name, Chinook. So Chinook is a hot wind blown where? Blown in the USA, Canada, that is North America. And in other parts of the world also these kinds of winds are there. Similar winds. Where are the similar winds like this? The similar winds occur in Europe also. In Europe in Europe it is called a Foehn, F-O-E-H-N, Foehn. Foehn, these winds blown along the slope of Alps. Alps mountains are in Europe. At the slope of these Alps mountains, these kinds of winds are blowing. Foehn. Foehn is similar to Chinook only. That means hot winds. And when these winds come, the snow melts, snow disappears. The snow disappears in this region and makes the weather very pleasant, very happy weather is formed by the local wind Foehn. Foehn is a welcome wind there. And it helps in early ripening of the grapes. If snow is there, it will kill the plants, but when Foehn comes, it is very helpful for the plants, especially grapes. In Europe, grapes, cultivation of grapes was widespread, and these grapes become ripened because of these winds. Another hot wind is called Lu. Lu is a very hot wind blown in the northern plains. In the northern plains. Northern plains means in the Rajasthan plains mainly. From the desert of Rajasthan, these winds blow towards east. These winds blow towards east from Rajasthan desert region, especially in the month of May and June. In the month of May and June, these winds blows from Rajasthan desert to the east, making the northern plains very hot. Sometimes sunstroke also will attack the people because of this loo. Sunstroke means because the attack of heat, and people may die because of that. When sunstroke comes, what happens in the body? Our body become dehydrated. Our bodies become dehydrated and kidney failure. As a result, people will die. Every year, some people and animals die because of sunstroke in North India. The sunstroke is caused by the winds loo. And similar winds are there, like loo, very hot winds. In Arabian desert, it is called Simman. In Japan, it is called Yoma. And in New Zealand, it is called Nor'wester. So Nor'wester, Yoma, Simman are equal to what? Equal to Lu. That means these are the hot winds like a Lu. Now cold winds. We learned hot winds. Which are the hot winds we learned? Chinook and Lu. Which are the similars of Chinook? Similars, one is Fawn. Fawn is a similar wind of Chinook. And what about Lu? Similar winds are Simman, Yoma and Nor'wester. Now cool winds. Cool winds means these winds blow in an area means that areas will become cool. Such a wind is mistral. Mistral is a cold wind. It is also blown over blown from the Alps mountains to France. Which winds are blown from Alps mountains to France? Mistral winds. Mistral is a cold wind, and it blows from Alps to France, and from there it moves to Mediterranean Sea of Europe. Again, it moves through the Rhone Valley. What is Rhone Valley? Rome is a river. Rome is a river, and Rhone Valley means the river Rhone Valley. And it is very cold and dry wind. That means there is no moisture in this wind. Cold air usually does not have a moisture in it. Another cold wind is called Puna. Puna is a local wind, and it is a very cold wind in the Andes mountain region. Andes mountains, you might have heard of Andes mountains. In this mountain region, the local wind is called Puna. Puna is a cold wind. Another cold wind is called Pampero. Pampero are actually called polar winds. Polar winds are very cold, we know. The winds that blow from poles, very ice region, very cold region. No. From there, if the wind comes, it is very cold only. These winds blow very fast in the Pampas region of South America. Pampas of South America. So, these are very cold winds, Pampero. So, which are the cold winds we came to know now? One is Mistral, next Puna, and next Pampero. Study these names very well. Next we have the concepts of weather and climate. Already we discussed these points, but once more I say, weather and climate. What is meant by weather? Simply said, the atmospheric conditions of a region for a short period of time is called weather. Atmospheric conditions. When we say atmospheric conditions, the existence of the atmospheric elements of weather under. What are the elements of weather? We can call it what? Temperature, pressure, wind, humidity and precipitation. These are called elements of weather. these situations for a short period of time. Short period of time means maximum up to 10 days or something like that. These conditions will not exist more than that. So these are called elements of climate. When such conditions exist for a short period of time, it is called weather. Today the climate is very hot. Am I right? No. Today the weather is very hot. Then what is climate? The average weather conditions of a region for a long period of time, or the atmosphere, the similar pattern of atmosphere conditions for a long period of time. It is said that in minimum 30 years, if the conditions, the atmospheric conditions, the climatic conditions, the weather conditions continue the same, then we say that is the climate of that region. So there is a difference between weather and climate, but people say mixing these two. For the climate they may say weather, for weather they may say the word climate, but that's not right. When we say weather, it is for a short period of time only. When we say climate, it is for a long period of time. Because this changes is compulsory, because the atmosphere is not static. Atmosphere is always moving, dynamic. That's why these kinds of changes happen. And the factors that influence the weather conditions or climatic conditions. There are some more factors are there. We discussed only winds and what is the pressure. Winds and pressure only we discussed. Temperature already studied in 8th class. In some area there is high temperature, in some area low temperature. The latitudinal region very near to equator are hot. The latitudes away from the equator are very cold. Again, high regions are cool, low regions are hot, like that we studied. Now we have to study about humidity and precipitation in the next class. That means in the school, now we are going to study about humidity and precipitation. I welcome back you all. So today's questions. Write these answers to the questions. Question number 1. What are seasonal winds? What are seasonal winds? Question number 2. What are local winds? What are local winds? Then question number 3. What is monsoon? What is monsoon? What is called monsoon? Next, question number 4. Name some of the hot winds. Name some of the hot winds. And one more question here. Give examples for local winds. Give examples for local winds. Means cold winds, hot winds, also mountain breezes, valley breezes, sea and land breezes. All these are local winds only. That also you have to write. Next, hot winds. Now, next question. Write the names of some cold winds. Write the names of some cold winds. Next question. What is called Chinook? What is called Chinook? Next question. What is the difference between weather and climate? Weather and climate. Okay, for the time being, these 6 questions you answer, and next we shall meet in the class. Bye.